The crash of FTX. On your marks, get set, get ready, crash. This is exactly how fast the world's second largest cryptocurrency collapsed and crashed. Within the blink of an eye, the world of crypto is on fire, and FTX is burning into tiny ashes with no strings of hope to hold on to. No amount of water trucks can even extinguish the fire at the moment. So, what exactly is going on? Welcome back to the Billionaire Status. In today's video, we are going to explain to you in bite-sized pieces what caused the crash of FTX. Let's get right into the video. November 7th, 2022 was the best day of Bankman-Fried's life, or let's say one of the best things, as the crypto king had a total of $16 billion in crypto. However, suddenly on November 8th, this man's net worth nosedived deep to less than $1 billion, losing more than 80% of his total net worth in 24 hours. Would you imagine that? This day remains as one of the greatest one-day financial losses ever known. Bankman-Fried was the co-founder and CEO of the cryptocurrency exchange FTX. A cryptocurrency that used to be valued at over $32 billion has now filed for bankruptcy on the 11th of November, 2022. A total mess. The sudden fall of FTX came as a huge shock to everyone across the world and already lays so many repercussions for those who invested heavily into and traded with it. Bankman himself summarized his contribution to the failure of his cryptocurrency and said, "I'm sorry, that is the biggest thing. I effed up." And this is not something you would expect from someone who recently criticized Mark Zuckerberg for pouring money into the metaverse, only to now be laying off thousands of people at Meta. Bankman is now facing far worse than the company he was mouthing at. Bankman-Fried was bred at the University of Stanford, where his parents were both law lecturers. He was first known to work as a Wall Street trader before co-founding FTX with Gary Wang in 2019. When you say something was really big and doing excellently well, it was FTX. The crypto exchange was well trusted and supported by top capital firms. People largely stored, bought, and sold various cryptocurrencies on FTX, and soon it became the world's second largest cryptocurrency exchange. Sam Bankman-Fried, popularly called SBF, was hailed at every nook and cranny of the crypto industry as the JP Morgan of crypto. The FTX brand could be seen on Mercedes F1 race cars, on the arena commonly used by the Miami Heat for their games, even though sadly those stickers will now be removed and replaced. Although the world of FTX was the top buzzword, SBF became one of the richest people in the world. Although you would not be able to tell that just by looking at the guy. His net worth reached a total of $26 billion. He was not known to spend so much as he merely drove a Toyota Corolla and slept on a beanbag in his office. He, however, did splurge a bit on the luxury penthouse he purchased in the Bahamas. He is known to live with Gopher, his golden doodle, and 10 other roommates. It's said that his roommates all dated each other at some point, and reliable intel tells CoinDesk, a crypto news site, that the whole operation was run by a gang of kids in the Bahamas. Some of these roommates are former co-workers of his, and some he met at MIT where he went to school. A particular person that stands out, though, who was one whom he dated, is Caroline Ellison, who is known to be the CEO of Alameda Research. Now, let's take you back to where it all started. Alameda Research, which is a quantitative trading firm, was founded by Bankman-Fried back in 2017, and 2 years later, he founded FTX. Now, Alameda and FTX were created to be separate companies, but eventually, they got into some sort of entanglement with each other and then became close. Bankman's creation of two different trading companies already had aroused some skeptical minds and stakeholders. Investors and traders were concerned that there could be some sort of conflict of interest along the lines as regards to research getting preferential treatment on FTX, or vice versa. But Bankman assured people that both companies are separate entities. I'm sure you'd be wondering then, how did this mess start? When FTX opened, one of the first companies to invest in it was Binance. FTX then grew very fast and became Binance's #1 rival. At the time when the crypto market crashed earlier this year, SBF pushed to save struggling crypto firms and bailed out many companies, spending about $1 billion using risky bets from Alameda. One of the companies that were financed was Voyage Digital, a crypto lender whom Bankman said he felt a responsibility to assist. He stated, "First of all, it is all backstopping customers to make sure they're protected. And second, stopping contagion from spreading through the ecosystem." But Bankman's image of being a crypto savior didn't last. Voyager Digital filed for bankruptcy protection a month later, and Alameda lost $500 million. Alameda was in trouble. On November 2nd, CoinDesk published a report that was based on a leaked document, Alameda's balance sheet. According to the leaked document, Alameda claimed it had over $14 billion in assets at the end of June, but it turned out most of it was FTX tokens, FFT. Caroline Ellison tweeted that the balance sheet was incomplete and that Alameda's financial situation was under control. But traders didn't buy an ounce of that, and they started to withdraw from FTX. That's not all, guys. Things fully escalated on November 6 when Binance announced that they would offload $580 million of FFT. As the CEO, Changpeng Zhao, asserted that the decision was due to recent revelations. This caused the price of FFT to plummet and sparked mass withdrawals from traders. That day, FTX processed about $4 billion worth of transactions, and by the 7th of November, that number skyrocketed to $6 billion. On the 8th of November, FTX was in a crisis. As FTX looked doomed to die, Binance stepped in and offered to buy the company, but then backed out from the non-binding offer on the 9th of November. They said their decision was a result of corporate due diligence and also mentioned something about FTX mishandling customer funds and alleged U.S. agency investigations. At this point, FTX was already in a full-blown wildfire, and a report released by the Journal the next day confirmed it. Curious about more of this? Keep watching, there's more to come. The Journal reported that FTX used customer funds to fund risky bets made by Alameda. Remember when Alameda lost $500 million from financing Voyager Digital? Well, it turns out SBF tried to save Alameda from imploding and secretly transferred $10 billion of customer funds into its twin company. This revelation sent shockwaves to the entire crypto world because even though people knew that Alameda and FTX were joined at the hip, they never saw this coming. Bankman-Fried reportedly built a backdoor in FTX's accounting software that enabled him to move billions of dollars without alerting anyone, not even external auditors. But SBF says that it isn't what it looks like and that his text messages to Reuters said, "We didn't secretly transfer. We had confusing internal labeling and misread it." It gets crazier, guys. Someone allegedly stole hundreds of millions of dollars of the funds left at FTX. After Bankman-Fried resigned as the CEO and FTX alongside Alameda filed for bankruptcy, a new CEO came in and confirmed that there was a hack. FTX is now cooperating with law enforcement as this act could lead to criminal charges. U.S. regulators are reporting investigating FTX and Alameda research. One flawed SBF decision, and the crypto king may just lose it all. Not just him, but also the entire crypto industry, which is still recovering from the fall of its prices in May amidst interest rates rising as well. That's not all, though. This crash could take years to resolve, as lawyers are still deciding whether or not the exchange can still operate. And the incident may also bring more regulations to the crypto industry. Then there's the issue of customers who want a refund of their money. FTX has put a pause on withdrawals until further notice, and no one knows just how much would be recovered from the bankruptcy process. Well, that's all we have for you today on the crash of FTX. Hope you enjoyed watching this as much as we enjoyed making it. What do you think of Bankman-Fried's decisions? Has this crash affected you in any way? Make sure to share your thoughts in the comments section below. If you liked this video, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and tap the bell icon so you can get notifications about all future videos.